Yo, what it do? Ricky Jones here. Welcome to the Ricky in the Brain podcast. Ladies, gentlemen, friends, family, foes, and whoever's listening. Appreciate y'all tuning in. This is episode 2. For those that don't know, if this is your first time tuning in, I am Ricky Jones. This podcast is featuring myself as well as my brain. Sometimes you get more of me. Sometimes you get more of the brain. Either way, thank you for listening. Today's been a miraculous day in the Pacific Northwest. Actually had some sunshine today. I must say, I appreciate that. So this is what God feel like, you dig? Today's episode, we're just going to talk about a few heres and theres. No real current event situations because screw that shit. Y'all know what's going on currently. Y'all on Facebook, YouTube, Twitters, and other various forms of social media. So I'm sure you know at least what the mainstream news wants you to know. So that's what that do. Today's strain of the day is Dutch Treat. Dutch Treat is a hybrid strain. This particular brand of Dutch Treat is by the Tumbleweed Company. This is an indoor strain right here, actually. They do also have outdoor Dutch Treat strains. And let's see, for those that would like to know, since I did state that it is a hybrid, let me just let you know what that combination is. So, Dutch Treat, this cannabis strain, it's highly available everywhere. You can find Dutch Treat in all of the local dispensary areas. Let's see. Dutch Treat was but it was initially a strain that came out of the Amsterdam coffee shops in the early 1980s. It's a real dense bud. The outdoor strain isn't as sticky as the indoor strain. I will say it's a kind of a piney taste. It do hit you quick. I will say that's why I kind of like Dutch Treat. It hits you quick. It's not a long-lasting type of blow, more of a mellow, relaxing situation. Let's see, the genetics of Dutch Treat. I am going so far into this, way farther than I anticipated. Let's see, what are the genetics? Screw that. But it's an easy strain, actually, if you want to grow it yourself. If you ever come across seeds of Dutch Treat, this strain grows approximately in, I think, 7 to 9 weeks. So within a few months, if you got a nice seed or two of some Dutch Treat, you can get you some bomb cannabis. So that's today's strain of the day, Dutch Treat. For all your cannabis needs and recommendations, I'm here for you. Today, as I said, I wasn't going into current events, but I did want to speak on something. It's kind of a two-parter, but this particular podcast is only 15 minutes long. It will be longer upcoming, but right now, 15 minutes will suffice. There's a meaning to words. Growing up as a scholar, more than an athlete, I really was into the English language, whether it was poetry, fiction, nonfiction, books, novels, essays, short stories, scripts, plays, whatever it was. The written word has always fascinated me. I was always in tune with it. The main thing that I liked about it was that words had meaning. Now, this might sound as a no-duh type of thing to say, words have meaning. But I state that because in today's current environment, words don't necessarily have meaning. People say words, and then when you check them on that word or confront them on that word, they like to tell you what they meant. We live in a society of people's meanings isn't necessarily how they come across. The main word lately that really brought upon this episode is the word genius. I hear this word I think, thrown around so flippantly, more in this day and time than probably ever in history, but who knows? I've only been here since 1980. But the term genius, it used to be used probably mainly in terms of people who delved in science, engineering, manufacturing fields, agriculture, things of that nature, where when you did show your genius, you usually showed it by improving on something or creating something that helped the world at large, or at least changed some aspect of the world at large. Geniuses, George Washington Carver, manipulated the soybean, manipulated peanuts, manipulated the corn flour. Albert Einstein, his theories still to this day make people go all willy-nilly about gravity. Is the earth round? Is the earth flat? And all this other stuff. Does gravity have waves? Genius. Nikola Tesla. Genius. Even people who were more of the evil genius, like Jack Parsons. These people were geniuses. One thing that people always said about genius prior to this era was that every genius was slightly off. Because what comes with genius is usually ideas and thought processes that either no one else has really thought about or no one else has really ever been able to manifest in the real world or comprehend in a fashion where, this is real to me. I'm going to go this way. But currently, the word genius is thrown around. And it's thrown around in conversations that don't take genius. Yeah, maybe this took hard work, effort, practice, study, research, but not genius. We're currently in the playoff season of basketball. I'm a fan of the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. I always have been, and I will continue to be. We up right now. We was down for a minute, but we up right now. And they were speaking on the Boston Celtics coach, Brad Stevens. Now, for y'all that don't know, Boston's currently up 2-0 in their playoff series against the Bucks of Milwaukee. Now, they've got a lot of young players, but they've had a lot of veteran injuries. And because of that, people thought, they'll fall flat on their face. But this team's winning with some veterans and a lot of young talent. The coach for that team, Brad Stevens, has consistently been called a genius because he's able to get these guys to win. Now, I would be more satisfied if this person was called a excellent motivator, a X's and O's guy, a study fiend. But genius? He's a genius because he's got some guys to play basketball together. Nah. Another instance of the term being used so loosely. Kanye West. People call Kanye West a genius. This motherfucker say he sees color, he sees notes in music, and I believe that those things are true. I believe he's manifested that in his real life. But genius? Has he done anything that has really changed the way we view our world or interact with our world? Now, I do, speaking of music, got to give major props to a young brother out of Compton, California. Young Kendrick Lamar, young Kendrick Duckworth. If y'all didn't know, there's an award called the Pulitzer Prize. Now, in my days, I've heard of many people winning this award. It was always a writing award, and it usually went to journalists. Most of the time that I saw it being given out, it was given to journalists. I never knew there was a music category. And when it comes to the music category, it seems like most people who get this esteemed and prestigious honor are normally classical musicians, jazz musicians, and people in that lane. So for young Kendrick Duckworth to win a Pulitzer Prize for his album Damn, which I have consistently said over and over again is one of the greatest albums in general that I have heard in my life for various reasons aside of just, yo, he's spitting. That man deserves major praise. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe he's maybe only 26, 27, in that range of age. Listen really to Kendrick Lamar. The reason that after 4 mainstream albums that he's winning Pulitzer Prizes and not Grammys is because he is a genius. Why is he a genius? Because he took his thoughts and ideas and theories about our world that others might not have paralleled and thought that, hey, that's even a real thing. And he manifested it in our world. Listen to all his albums. Listen to the skits. Listen to the subject matter. See, the number one thing this society of America loves is for you to take that person, whoever they are, from whatever race and culture and creed, and take that person and put them in a situation that they will never, ever either relate to or experience in their life. And then not only make them relate to it, but then look at the people who relate to that one-to-one and appreciate them more. Do you understand what I'm saying? No one can appreciate your struggle if they can't one-to-one comprehend it and understand it and actually believe that that's something that goes on in this world. That's the genius of Kendrick Lamar. That's the genius. He can speak to me, someone that grew up in a poverty-stricken area. But aside from that upbringing, I also learned outside of that area and inside of that area things that could help me in this life. And I could hear it all in his music. Now, when I hear I hear a J. Cole, as much as I appreciate the brother, I don't get the same feeling. He makes good, solid music, and he's a great MC. But he doesn't pull me from where I sit and stand and listen to his music to a place that I couldn't relate to and make me appreciate the people who actually experience that. Remember the movie Slumdog Millionaire? What made this film great is that people had their ideas of what the slums were in India, Calcutta. People thought they knew what it was, but when you saw that film and when they showed you on the screen a personal experience that you would never experience or relate to, and they showed it to you in the flesh, you cannot tell me you didn't appreciate the people of Calcutta more after watching that film. Apologize. Phones ring. That's what they do. Well, my time is up. Hopefully, you enjoyed my diatribe. The shows will be longer. The message will be the same, though. Stay up and be the best you that you could be. Be a better you than you were yesterday, because nobody else can be you. Let's stop with the buffoonery and the fuckery. And a hint to my fellas, if you're over the age of 19 and you're dating a woman and she says that y'all go together, you need to dump that broad immediately. Kick her to the curb. Pump it and dump it. I'm Ricky. That's my brain. I'm out.